You're going to love this. Trust me.
Yo, Dragon Ball Junkies, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. This is a brand new episode of Theme Deck Thursdays. Today, we're taking a look at an interesting archetype that came out, I think, in Battle Evolutions not too long ago that I meant to try out then and I never did. We are checking out the Heroines deck, led by Bulma, the Black Bulma. This is a Heroines only. Those are the only battle cards we're allowed to play in the deck. So let's check it out right now. Okay, guys, before we get into the gameplay, as is customary here on Theme Deck Thursdays, we're going to take a quick look at my deck list. So this is what I came up with for Bulma, Life of a Heroine. This is a black card. It is from Battle Evolutions. And it's kind of a weird deck. It's tough to build. We have a permanent. You can't play non-heroine battle cards. So one thing that's important to remember is we can still run them in the deck, non-heroine battle cards. We just can't play them. This is going to be important to remember with our secret rare here. We're using Pan, Time Patrol Maiden. Even though it's a Pan, and even though our leader does turn Pans into heroines, this specific Pan is Panzino, so she does not become a heroine card, so she does not apply to this stipulation. So we cannot play this card, but we can still use the counterattack, and we can still get the floodgate effect, but we won't get the 40k body on the board. We won't be able to do the activate main, but you know, a floodgate is something we needed in this deck because we don't have them, and I think it's good. It lets us extend to one more turn for 0 energy. It's pretty much what I thought would be the best choice for the deck. The only other things you could go with is the Radiant Saiyans. You can put that in here. There's things like the negative energy Dragon Ball, since it's an extra card. You could use any sort of unison secret rare. But I went with Pan just because it gives us that floodgate ability. Then we have this permanent. All Pans, Bolas. This is why this deck is hard to build, especially on any like deck builder like DBS Deck Planet. All Pan, Bulma, Bula, Chi-Chi, Videl, My Future, and Android 18 battle cards in all of your areas gain heroine and are treated as if they had no specified cost. One thing that we need to take note of is there are other cards that have the heroine tag on them that are not any of these characters. If you run one of those heroines in the deck that is not one of these characters, then it does not get the no specified costs treatment. So, for example, this Rosie Blast Manipulator is a heroine, but it isn't on the list, so you will have to pay 3 greens to play this Rosie. I still put 2 Rosies in the deck because the deck is a majority green, but just remember that as you're charging your energy, almost everything else in the deck you can play with whatever color energy because they'll lose their specified costs. But the Chilai and the Rosie, you will have to pay their energy color. But the Chilai, we have a way to cheat out, so that's why she's in here. She's a 20k green vanilla card. And also we have Great Saiyaman 2. That's Videl, so it loses its specified cost. You could play this out for 2 of any color. But the vanillas are for other cards in the deck. So let's run through it real quick and just talk about what we got here. We've got a 1-drop Bulma super combo. This is it's a black card. We can grab it off of Power Burst. We have a lot of just basic black negates and stuff because we need negates in the deck. We need to be able to stretch the game a little bit. So we've got Power Burst. We've got 2 Petrifications. We've got 2 Super Kamehamehas to stop floodgates. We've got 2 Whis Coercion just because it's a good negate that restands the energy. We can't run D-Magic in this deck, but Whis Coercion is pretty good. And then we've got Sensu Beans, of course, because we're running some blue in the deck. And that's pretty much our generic cards. Then as far as unisons, we're running Pan, Heroine's Victory. I'm not a big fan of this one. I haven't, in testing, I never really played it. This launch is good. This launch is good. It lets you search for a heroine. Pretty much it's a +1, draw one kind of, because you're almost always going to hit that. Unless you get a really bad top 5 and then you miss that, but you still get your +1. You can -1, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards whose total energy adds up to 3 or less and KO them. So a little bit of board removal for 2 energy. You can play this out. So this is a unison, so it will have 2 specified green costs, but it's activate main. If your leader card is a heroine card, play this card from your hand with 2 markers on it. Basically, what this activate main is, lets you play the card with no specified cost. Instead of paying 2 green, you can pay 1 blue, 1 yellow. You can pay a green and a blue, whatever. So those are our unisons, super combos, all of our extra cards, and generic cards. Now let's get into the engine, what we're doing. Also, our leader has this effect. When you play a card, draw 1 card, then this card and the card you played get 5,000 power for the turn. Activate battle, choose one of your battle cards that gets 5,000 power for the battle. So this, when you play a card, draw 1 card, it is once per turn, but you can do that offensively and defensively. So we want to be able to play battle cards. We want a lot of 1-drops because we want a lot of things that we can just, just play to get that draw. Make sure that we always get that draw. And on defense, we want to be able to play battle cards. Well, we can't run things like Topo. We can't run things like the Green Majin Buu Floodgates. We can't run counterplays like Charismatic because those aren't heroines. So the only cards that we're going to be able to play offensive or defensively, battle cards, we've got this Videl. This is a counterattack. When we counterattack, we negate the attack and play this card. We burst 1. And this other effect doesn't really matter. But this is a blue Videl, so blue helps us with energy color matching in order to get our sensu beans online. And since it is a Videl, it becomes a heroine, and we can play this. It doesn't have a blue specified cost. It's still a blue card, so if we charge it, it helps with our sensu beans, but we don't have to pay a blue to do the negate. It loses its specified cost. But this will also be a battle card that plays defensively, so we get that draw power. We have another card right here. No, I'm sorry, this one. This one we can also play defensively for 1 green energy. If you have a green skillless battle card in play, when your opponent attacks, play this card from your hand. So our green skillless battle card will be our Chilai. That's why we run 4 of those, so that we can play this card out defensively, and it's a blocker. It can give us a little extra defenses. The vanilla package basically goes with this card. When this card is played up from your hand, so if you pay it, there's 2 ways you can play it. You could pay 3 to play it out, and then when it's played, you play up to 1 skillless battle card, energy cost of 2 or less from your deck or drop area. Then shuffle your deck if you look through it, and then it's activate main for 1 green. Choose one of your skillless battle cards, energy cost of 2 or less, and return it to its owner's hand. Play this card from your hand, and you can't play copies of this card for the turn. So you can play this out for 1 energy. If you have a skillless on board, you return the skillless to your hand, then you play another skillless out from your deck. It's pretty good. You can swing with the skillless, then you can pay the 1, play this, get the skillless back to your hand for next turn, grab another skillless from your deck and play it. Basically, you're getting 2 20k attacks and a 15k attack for 1 energy. That's pretty good. And then we've got Awakening Talent Pan, just a self-awakener. A good card for this deck because it's blue again for color matching to get our sensu beans online, and it's a cool card because we can play this for 1 energy, and then even if we don't want to attack or we don't want to take our life or anything like that, we can just play this for 1 energy, get the draw off our leader, and then it'll come back to our hand so we can do it again next turn. So Awakening Talent Pan's great card for this deck. And then this Bulma 1-drop is just a searcher. It searches out our unison, as well as Saiyan cards energy cost of 3 or less. That is not going to apply to anything. We don't have any Saiyan cards energy cost of 3 or less, but this can help us get out our unisons, and it's just a 1-drop card that we can play to get our draw. We've got Rosie as a finisher. You're going to need to make sure you have 3 specified green to play Rosie, but she is a very good card. And then our last finisher is Android 1718, Bringers of Apocalypse. It's a deflect. It's triple strike. They're not going to be able to counterplay it. If you or your opponent have a skillless battle card and player, reduce the energy cost of this card by 1. So it becomes a 4-drop. It is an Android 18, so it's no specified colors. So 4 of any energy. You can play this thing out because you're going to have a skillless or your opponent's going to have a skillless. And then once you play it, you can choose any number of you and your opponent's cards, ignoring barrier, and negate the skills until the end of your opponent's next turn. That's a very good skill. You can do a lot with that. It can shut down a lot of their plays. And then you can activate main, place this card in its owner's drop area, choose 2 of your skills battle cards and cost 4 or less, and switch them to active mode. So you can swing with a skillless, swing with a skillless, swing with this, and then activate main, untap your 2 skillless, and then swing with them again. So when you do that turn, you can get pretty crazy. But that's the deck. It was a tough deck to build. I kind of like this build, though. I had fun with it. So let's get into gameplay. The first game is going to actually be me playing a cooler deck that I'm working on, that I'm testing. It's not perfected yet. It's still a rough draft. But we're playing against Mario and his Heroines build, which is different than mine. Remember that. The second game will be my Heroines deck, which is this deck right here, against his Heroine deck. And we'll see which Heroine comes out on top in the gameplay right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get into this waifu deck gameplay. You guys are also going to get to see a little bit of my cooler deck that I'm working on. I still have not watched any of the videos. I know that some cooler decks have been doing well and that some people have made videos about the decks that have topped tournaments and stuff. I have yet to watch those videos to get a little bit of guidance in my cooler deck. So my cooler deck's kind of jank, but it's still cool. I've been playing it since it came out and making adjustments to it. I like cooler a lot. But Mario is playing the waifu deck. Mario is playing the Heroines with Bulma. So far he's got 2 green energies. Turn 1 he played out a super combo. Possibly a bad move because I'm about to minus it and get it off the board before he gets to combo with it. But he did get the draw card off playing it. And this game, I feel confident I'm going to win this game almost the whole game. And you're going to see something very disappointing happen as I play cooler. Mario's got 2 Chilais out. Those Chilais he's using do not get their specified cost removed. But Mario has all green energy right now, so he's okay. He's playing stuff. My cooler, I was able to minus his super combo and get rid of it, get rid of one of his Chilais and mill him a little bit. Comes back to me, my turn 3. I'm down to 5 life. Mario is at 6 life. Charging a unison because I have another one in my hand. I have multiple unisons. So here's one thing that I struggle with cooler is knowing which unison to play and win. Between the Sin or the Jiren, which is better? Let me know in the comments. Which one do you run? Which is better in the deck? Is a mixture of both in the deck good? And when do you want to play which one? Let me know in the comments. But Mario's got the Videl out. Great Saiyaman 2 budding hero. Videl. So he can hard cast that and then get a skillless out of his deck. Lets him grab that Chilai. That's the vanilla Chilai. And Mario's going straight into his big card. So he gets to take the skills off my stuff, ignoring barrier, until the end of my next turn. And he can also remove the skills off his own cards, which he's shown us in other gameplays can be used to do some cool things, like evolve a Victory Strike onto a Strength of Legends Goku. It's a cool play. Basically, you get Strength of Legends out for free, and then you play the Android card, and you make your Strength of Legends skillless. Then you can put your Victory Strike on top of it. But he swung. I was able to negate. I'm holding on to plenty of negates. I got plenty of Oceanus. I got Topo. I used my Frieza negate so I could get it out there so I could go into my 5-drop for 3 energy this turn, which is what I was basically planning on doing. So 3-drop, I can evolve my 5-drop Frieza. Oh, actually, I hardcast that one just in case. I'm not exactly sure why I did it that way. All right, hardcast the
Maybe just so I could have multiple ways of getting my 5-drop. But anyway, I swung, and Mario was able to use petrification. Mario had a petrification in his hand. He was waiting for it. He petrified my Frieza 100% overdrive. Otherwise, I would have milled him for a lot just now. Comes back to me, or it comes back to Mario, I'm sorry, and he's swinging. I blocked that with my Oceanus. These are triple strike swings. So the second one, I'm going to play the Oceanus. Now, this is still going through. And he used Super Kamehameha to send my Oceanus to my drop area. So I'm losing quite a bit of cards. Our hand size is getting small, but it comes back to my turn again. I've still got my 5-drop on board. Yeah, I'm not sure why I didn't just evolve it onto the other guy. I can't remember why I did that. I must have had a reason. But we swing, and Mario petrifies it again. That was the second petrification, so I ask him here in a minute. And basically, what happens is I should have milled him out and been swinging at him with triple strikes, but he was able to 2 turns in a row petrify my Frieza 100% overdrive. I'm playing out my Sin Unison now. I'm able to minus some of his stuff, but my hand size is just getting too small. I'm not able to mill him out because both my 100% overdrives got petrified, which sucks. Mario's countering my attacks. I can't even swing to aggro to push through his life. I just don't have enough swings. So I still have an Oceanus in my hand. I'm hoping that will be enough to get me through this next turn. I have 5 life. I'm thinking I'm good. I was so upset that he played 2 petrifications on me. I end up asking him a little later, sometime in the gameplay, I asked him, dude, how many do you run? How many petrifications do you run in that deck? He said 2. I was like, oh my gosh. Dang, the 2 that are in the deck, he had 2 turns in a row. He was ready for it too. He knew what was up. And then the Rosie comes, and I think the Rosie is what finishes the deal. He Rosies me, then he swings with a big triple strike, and I'm done for. Took me from 5 to 0 in 1 turn by ripping my hand with Rosie. Rosie's great. But now, we've got my Heroines deck, which is different from the deck you just saw, but very similar. And Mario's. I think after that game, maybe he made a few adjustments to his as well. And these decks are going to be very similar, but also different. See, Mario's running more of the... What universe are they? The ladies. Ribrianne, Kakunsa, and... Rosie? I want to say Rosie. Yeah. Rosie, Ribrianne, and Kakunsa. Mario's leaning a little more on that package, going with more green-heavy stuff. I'm more focused on the heroine stuff. I only run 2 Rosies in the deck. Just because, as we'll see in this game, it's going to be tough for me to get 3 mono greens in my energy until a little later in the game. I think this game, I end up getting 3 mono greens by turn 5. But as you can see now, I have 1 yellow, 1 green. I play out that Launch Unison. Launch Unison is pretty good because it's pretty much just a +1 draw card. You can use the -1 as a little board removal if you need it. So it's good just to have a green Unison on the board. Not that it really matters. You can't run Dormant in this deck. You can't run Charismatic in this deck. But I think there's some Spirit Boost in here somewhere. No Spirit Boost. You really don't need the Unisons, I guess. I guess one of the reasons you'd want to have the Unisons is just because it gives you more access to cards that you can play. Because your pool is pretty limited with this deck, especially if you want the no color restriction thing. And if you go on DBS Deck Planet to build this deck, it's rough because you have to put in the search criteria where it says character tag. You got to put in Pan, Bola, Bulma, Chi-Chi, Videl, My Future, and Android 18. And then if you leave that search, you got to type that all back in again and do it again. Not type it in, but you got to find them all in the list, add them to it. It's annoying making this deck. This deck is crazy. But Mario's running that Raditz Unison. That Raditz Unison, he shows me here that it's pretty good with this deck. I like it. It gives you some hand control ability. And I think he is leaning more hand control-y. He's got the Gene. I decided not to run the Gene. He said he has them in there because it lets him change his energy out and mess around with his energy. But I just don't run the Gene, and I try not to charge anything that I'm going to need. Basically. It's only a 1K combo. It's kind of weird. But Mario's got that Kakunsa. That Kakunsa is, I believe it's a double strike, like 25K. If certain conditions are met. I don't have it pulled up in front of me. I have my deck pulled up in front of me, but I don't have that Kakunsa up. But I'm getting a big hand advantage here. See, that's because I'm able to play cards defensively. I'm able to use my pan negate defensively. That's what you want to do. Also, the launch helps me with my hand size quite a bit. I don't want Mario to be able to go hand control route and rip my hand, so I want to just build up a hand. I'm swinging my unison. I'm sensu beating here, so now I have 2 energy. I have a green and a blue, and I'm able to go pretty aggro this turn with this Videl. So see, I swing with the vanilla, then I swing with the Videl, then I use the, that's why I use the sensu bean, is so I would have 1 energy up. I have 1 green energy up. So see, I could have used that green energy just now to pop my skillless and play out another Videl. But I wanted to keep a green energy up for this counter, this other Videl card that I have in my hand that I just played. So see, 1 green energy when your opponent attacks, you play that Videl. So then I get to draw a card off that, and I get a blocker on the field. Power burst for that attack. We've got to be careful. We've got to be defensive, but we have a blocker here. We don't want to go down to 3 in case he has a sensu bean and he can pull hardcast his android card, the big triple striker, and then threaten our life, and you know that would be bad. So we're just going to play it careful, but pretty much once it comes back to us for our turn, we are going to charge a green so we can hardcast a Rosie. And once we do that, we rip his hand, and we pretty much got the game. So I'm going to let it go back to normal speed, let the regular audio come in. Guys, let me know in the comment section who your favorite waifu is. Don't say Bola, because she's underage, and that would be sus, obviously.
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. And I get to draw off my leader. I get to plus Rosie and plus my leader. Cards green or hair, one postcard from your hand, card gets triple tap for the turn. Okay, then we start swinging. Response, just 20. Get to draw off that. Hold on. So the counter still happens. Then third attack to the leader. It's 20. Took it. Oh, this may be the end, boys.
Classic.
Can't kill me if I kill myself. Oh, you gonna power burst to... Yeah, he power burst to take your life. Got him! Yeah! Check out this hand.
Okay, guys, that is it for Theme Deck Thursdays. Let me know what you thought of my Heroines deck. Let me know what you thought of the gameplay down in the comment section. Please drop a comment, drop a thumbs up, and a like on the video if you liked it. Hit subscribe so you can subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and you can ring the bell so you know when I make new videos. I got a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/DragonBallJunkie. You can catch all these live gameplays and play games with Dragon Ball with me over there on Twitch. But I gotta go, so until next time, I got a video, I got a playlist. Click on them, watch them. I will see you guys later. I'm out. Peace.